Former Cleveland Browns QB throws clear shot at Kevin Stefanski. Heading into the Cleveland Browns Week 5 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings, there was a new sense of excitement surrounding the franchise. A change at quarterback is what started that excitement. Dillon Gabriel, the team's third-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, was named the new starting quarterback. He replaced longtime veteran signal caller Joe Flacco, who was off to a sluggish start to the season with the Browns. While there was much more excitement in Cleveland about the team, the ultimate result remained the same. Despite a solid showing from Gabriel, the Browns were unable to pull out a win. The Vikings ended up taking the game by a final score of 21-17. With the loss, Cleveland fell to 1-4 on the season. Once again, the Browns appear to be headed towards a very early pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That isn't the worst thing in the world, but fans are frustrated with losing. Following the latest loss, former Cleveland quarterback Robert Griffin III took to social media to throw a clear shot at head coach Kevin Stefanski. The Cleveland Browns had a rookie QB in Dillon Gabriel making his first career start and threw 2 TDs with no turnovers on foreign soil, Griffin wrote on X. Had a rookie running back run for 110 yards. Had a defense force 2 turnovers and get 3 sacks. And still lost. That's a coaching issue. Over the last couple of years, Stefanski's name has been mentioned as a possible hot seat candidate on multiple occasions. He may be viewed as a potential hot seat candidate, but the Browns have given no indication that they're considering making a change. To Griffin's point, Gabriel did more than enough to lead Cleveland to a win. He completed 19 of his 33 passes for 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. On the ground, the team ran for 140 yards on 32 carries and the defense played well too. Honestly, the Browns played their most complete game of the season and still lost. There is good reason to think that coaching was a big part of the loss, but the team did play well. Stefanski simply is the last man remaining to blame for the loss. It will be interesting to see how the season continues forward in Cleveland. Stefanski doesn't appear to be skating on thin ice right now, but that could change if the Browns don't show signs of development. This will be a storyline to watch closely. For more on the Cleveland Browns and general NFL news, head over to Newsweek Sports. The Cleveland Browns quarterback carousel has been a recurring saga over the past several seasons. Injuries, roster moves, and coaching decisions have all played their part in shaping the team's turbulent story. Yet, few moments have felt as dramatic, or as telling, than the recent remarks from a former Browns QB, who didn't hold back when addressing head coach Kevin Stefanski's leadership in the wake of another disappointing outing. It was a statement that left fans, analysts, and the NFL world buzzing. The QB, who had been thrust into a challenging environment rife with high expectations and low margin for error, chose his words carefully but deliberately. There was no sugarcoating, no vague references to team dynamics or coaching challenges. Instead, it was a direct, unmistakable critique aimed squarely at Stefanski, the man whose play calling and sideline management have been praised in some quarters and questioned in others. The context behind the critique. To understand the gravity of this jab, it's important to frame it within the Browns' broader struggles. Cleveland has long been a team caught between potential and inconsistency. Kevin Stefanski arrived with a reputation for innovative schemes and steady leadership, yet the team's recent performance has sparked debate. Critics have pointed to questionable fourth-quarter decisions, play calls that seem predictable, and a lack of adjustments when the opposition exploits defensive weaknesses. Enter the former QB, a player who experienced firsthand the challenges of executing under Stefanski's system. From the very start, he was put in a position where expectations outweighed preparation. Injuries to key targets, a revolving door of offensive linemen, and a fan base desperate for a playoff breakthrough all added to the pressure cooker. When a quarterback struggles under these circumstances, it's easy for observers to pin the blame on him, but insiders know the story is never that simple. The jab, subtle yet scathing. What makes this statement particularly noteworthy is the QB's approach. He didn't launch into a rant filled with emotion or resentment. Instead, his words were sharp, concise, and loaded with implication. Phrases like, "The system didn't always put me in the best position to succeed," or, "Sometimes decisions made off the field affected what we could do on it," were interpreted by many as pointed references to Stefanski's coaching choices. In essence, the former QB framed the critique not as a personal attack but as a professional observation, yet the subtext was clear. The message resonated because it came from someone who had lived the experience, who had been asked to perform at the highest level in arguably the most pressure-filled role in sports, and who felt the weight of organizational decisions that didn't always align with the realities on the field. Fan reactions, divided yet vocal. As soon as the remarks went public, social media erupted. Browns fans were split between those who cheered the QB's candor and those who viewed it as disrespectful. Some argued that Stefanski deserves scrutiny. After all, the team's record and playoff performance have been inconsistent despite his lauded offensive schemes. Others defended the coach, pointing to injuries and roster instability as mitigating factors. The conversation quickly expanded beyond Cleveland, sparking broader debates about coaching accountability in the NFL. How much responsibility does a head coach bear for a quarterback's struggles? Where does player performance end and organizational decision-making begin? In this context, the former QB's comments were more than just a critique. They were a mirror reflecting systemic issues that resonate across the league. Inside the locker room, tensions and truths. Reports suggest that the QB's remarks have prompted private discussions within the Browns organization. Sources indicate that Stefanski, known for his composed and analytical demeanor, has taken the comments seriously but has not responded publicly. Within the locker room, players have reportedly expressed mixed feelings, some appreciating the honesty, others worried about how external criticism might affect team cohesion. Yet, there's a certain inevitability to these moments in professional sports. When stakes are high and expectations are unmet, cracks appear. The QB's statement, though public, likely reflects conversations that have been happening behind closed doors for months, if not years. It's a reminder that even in a structured environment like the NFL, human dynamics, egos, and differing perspectives play a major role in outcomes. The bigger picture: leadership under scrutiny. This incident also shines a light on Stefanski's leadership style. Known for meticulous preparation and a calm sideline presence, he has often been praised for his ability to manage games and maintain team morale. But leadership isn't just about preparation. It's about adaptability, communication, and making sure every player feels supported and empowered. The former QB's remarks suggest that, at least in this case,